Systems of inequalities are going to take two things and put them together. So we have graphing inequalities and we have systems. And basically what we're looking at is, if you remember, inequalities are going to be lines that are shaded, and so our final answer is going to be where the two overlap. So what I'm going to do first is get these so that I can graph them, which means I need to turn them into slope-intercept form. So if we take this one, I'm going to subtract x from both sides, so we have y is less than or equal to negative x plus 6, and that will already be in graphing form. And then for the other one, we'll move the 2x over, so we have negative y is greater than negative 2x plus 4, and then we'll divide everything by negative 1, so then y is less than 2x minus 4. So now as we graph both of these, move over to graphing, I have y, let's go with the blue one on the bottom, y is less than 2x minus 4, so I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, graph that point, my slope is 2 over 1, this is going to be a dotted line, and it says y is less than, which means I'm going to go to the y-axis and go down, and I'm going to shade it in here. Okay, then we'll go to the first one that we did, and that one crossed at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my slope is negative 1 over 1. This one's going to be a solid line. It says y is less than, which is shaded below, so we shade this way. And so our final answer is going to be where the two overlap. So if we look at this, oh my goodness, what just happened? Okay, so if we, what in the world? If we look at this, they overlap right there, and let me shade that in a different color just to give it emphasis. So they overlap in here, so then all of this is going to get shaded. And this is our answer where this all shades. So when you guys do your homework, you're going to graph the two, you're going to shade the two, and then you just want to give it a good shading in the place where they overlap. And that's going to be your answer. There's really not much more to it. So then if we go to this one should be pretty straightforward because they're already in slope-intercept form. So I can go ahead and graph them. Let's do a green one. Let's do this top one in green. So I cross at negative 1. My slope is negative 3. So I go down 3 over 1. This is going to be a solid line. It says that it's greater than or equal to. And then it says, since it says it's greater than, I'm going to shade above, so we'll shade up here. Okay, the other one, let's do that one in purple. This one says that it crosses at 2, and then my slope is a positive 1. It's going to be a dotted line, and it says y is smaller than, so we shade down here. So our overlap, once again, is going to be over here where they both are shaded, and let's pick this color here. And so they're both shaded right in there, so we shade it really good in there. And there you go. So there's another example. Alright, every once in a while, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have this black box right here. There we go. No, we didn't go. What in the world is that? There we go. Alright. I don't know if you can see the black box that I saw, but it was there. Anyway, so here we go. I've got 3 of them now, so I'm probably going to get some kind of triangle here. So we start with x is greater than or equal to 0. Remember, these are special ones that have a vertical or horizontal line, and no matter what, so if you go to the x-axis, x is 0, that happens right there. And so no matter what's going on, x is always going to be 0, so we're actually going to be going up and down here along that, and it says it's equal to, so I can draw a straight line on the y-axis there. It says it's greater than, so I'll be shading out this way. And then the other one says that y is greater than or equal to 0, so if you go here on the y-axis, there's 0, and it'll be 0 all the way across. And I do a solid line across, and it says y is greater than that, so we'll be shading up. So far, our overlapping spot is right here in the x-axis. Now this next one we want to graph, we can go ahead and solve for the y. So subtract 4x from both sides. 3y is less than or equal to negative 4x plus 24. Divide by 3 everywhere. Y is less than or equal to negative 4/3 x plus 8. So I cross at 8, which would be right about there. And my slope is negative 4, so I go down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. And there's a point. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, and there's another point. This is going to be a solid line because it says it's greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. And now this one's going to be shading below this line. And so remember, we're already going to be within the first quadrant, and so now we're just going to be in this triangle of the first quadrant. So my shading is going to be all of this triangle right here. Now remember what it means to have the shading. Anything in the shaded region is going to be a solution. So I could pick that point right there and it'd be a solution, or that point, or that point. And since these are all solid lines, I could also pick anything on the lines. Would be a solution. Nothing out here though, because even though 2 of them are overlapped, they're not all 3 overlapped. And nothing in the rest of these. So the next thought would be, what would no solution look like? So if you think about it, you only have solutions where they overlap. So the idea of a no solution would be that they never overlap. So first off, we need parallel, so that the lines themselves never overlap, and then we need the shading to be in opposite directions. So this would be a no solutions problem because they never overlap. All solutions, however, so what would all solutions look like? Well, that's going to be, remember, all solutions for lines is when they completely overlap everywhere, and the same thing happens for inequalities. You're going to have the lines directly on top of each other, and then they're both going to be shaded in that exact same spot. So let me shade, let's do also blue. So there's one, and then we do another one, and then they're shaded in the exact same spot. This would be all solutions. All right, looks like we have just a couple more, and then we're done. So for this one, I need to, on the top, on the top I need to solve for y there. So subtract x from both sides. Negative 2y is less than negative x plus 3. Divide everything by negative 2. Ew, looks like we're going to get a fraction. Remember, when you divide by negative, you switch the sign. It'll be a positive x over 2 minus 3/2. So now when I graph this, I want to be careful that I graph well. So I cross at negative 3/2, which is negative 1.5, and my slope is positive 1 over 2, 1 over 2, 1 over 2, 1 over 2, whoops, over down on the left 2. Alright, this is going to be, I've forgotten now, this is going to be a dotted line. It says y is greater than. So we'll make a dotted line, and y is greater than, so we shade above. And then for the other one, we have negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your slope is up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, this one is going to be also a dotted line. And then y is greater than, so we shade up there. So they completely share the shading in this region here. Okay. And then our last one, again, we should have a triangular looking one. We have y, or x is greater than 0, so once again I go to the x-axis, x is 0 here. No matter where I am on the y-axis, x equals 0. And it says it's greater than or equal to, so it's going to be a line on the y-axis. And it says x is greater than, so we're shading to the right. The next one says the y-intercept is -1. My slope is a +2. It's going to be a dotted line. And y is greater than, so we're shading up here. So far, our shading overlaps in this region here. So this next one should make it more of a triangle. I'm going to do a different color just for emphasis. So we cross at a +3. And my slope is a +2. Oh, this is going interesting. Oh, this is parallel, isn't it? Huh, this is interesting. Alright, so here we have, oh shoot, here we have this line here. I think it's just dotted. It's parallel, so we're really not going to get a triangle. No, it's going to be solid and y is less than. Alright, so it's solid and y is less than, so we shade below. So think about it now. The purple parallel line we shaded above, the green one we shaded below, so we kind of have this tube going on here. But then we have x is greater than 0, so actually that cuts it off right here, and then it all shades up here, kind of in the tube. And that would be the graph. So it's not going to be a triangle. We're going to have this figure that actually goes on forever. And we could put an arrow at the end saying this goes on forever. That way it just gets cut off at the y-axis. Alright, now it's your turn.